Welcome, welcome to our beautiful Thursday session, 23rd of December, right round the corner of the Christmas holy time. 24th is also Holy Mother Sharada's birthday tomorrow. By the Indian Tithi, it is being celebrated on the Sunday, 26th. Celebration time. Let's start with our prayers. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Divine Mother, gods and goddesses, gurus of all the religion, and our beloved Gurudev, Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Sri Yukteswar Giri Lahiri Mahasaya, beloved Swami Sri Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, Mahavatar Babaji, the Deathless Master, Krishna, Yogakshema Vaham Vaham. Hold our hand and guide us. Take us from unreal to real, from ignorance to light and darkness, of death to light of immortality. Jai Guru. Today's Vedanta sessions, we have some very good questions. In the Vedanta it says that Shravanam, listening, and reading, Swadhyaya, are the two very, very powerful weapons with which you kill the doubts and the ignorance with all of us are operating. We are totally unconscious of our consciousness. And because of which, we are pretty happy being who we are and just dwelling in the surface of the ocean, surface of the water, and not wanting to deep down deeper. The second mistake is we are continuously being driven outwards because our senses have been designed in such a way, manufacturing defect. Senses take us outside. We have to look at something out there, listen to something out there, taste something which is out there, and smell, and then those data are collected and bombarded through the eye and the ear senses to the brain, and brain in turn sends it to the mind, and mind then getting charged with the consciousness called the reflective consciousness in the mind gives us the first person experience. Cool water drinking at the airport, or Alfonso mango. It's not an apple. How did it happen? It's still the first person experience, still not explainable by the Western science. Now, and yet at this stage, what is happening is we are unconscious of this process of the consciousness. So the Shravanam is a very powerful weapon, but more powerful than Shravanam is Mananam. And Vedantas say Mananam is the very, very powerful way where you reflect on what you hear, you think on it, you ask questions, do some more research, Google, study Vedanta, Upanishad, talk amongst yourself, and then ask questions. Those questions are very important. The questions which we got, which we keep discussing, very powerful, very good questions. Keep asking questions. And I may not be able to cope up with your questions in the sense in terms of time. And with the Divine Mother will answer the question. I'm not the one. I'm not the doer. I'm just an Amazon.com delivery guy. I will share with you those answers which I get them. And we should discuss again. And more important after that, is be still, be silent. Nididhyasana, meditation. Through the meditation, we come to a rich understanding, and then it becomes knowledge. Remember, as we had learned in our school days, they were called experiences. Experiences are having a beginning, also have an end. So we don't remember Charles' law, Boyle's law, Faraday's law, trigonometry, unless you've been using it for your professional life or teaching or something like that. But when it becomes knowledge, experiences have a beginning, have an end. Knowledge is a beginning, but no end. So our intention through Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, to make it a knowledge, everlasting knowledge, which should become our own. We make it our own. Now let me go through the question. We have a question for a very powerful one. And it says that you have been talking about the process of attaining the self-knowledge is advised. Vedanta is a two-step process. Yes, it is true. The first step is that our big mistake, that the wrong understanding that my body and mind is me, has to be quelled off, has to be removed, and the self is Atman, is seen as the awareness. I is the awareness. I'm not the Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. I'm not the Nama, Rupa, Babhara, not name, body, and the form and the function. I'm not. This is the first obstacle. We have to think about that. And second obstacle is that the one gains the understanding that my soul, my spirit, my Atman, my Brahman is no separate from the other self. That it is that all just one universal consciousness is in everybody, and that one Brahman is Brahman in everyone. Now with this, similar logical inferences, that means what? Consciousness is one. Everybody's got one consciousness. So the question comes in the second step, that Mr. A is looking at a yellow leaf, and the yellow leaf through the eye, through the lenses, going to the brain, going to the mind, and the mind is getting power from that consciousness, telling you this is yellow leaf. Consciousness is one. Now the second person sees a green leaf. So his question is, his eye is separate, his brain is separate, his mind is separate. He sees a green leaf, but the consciousness is one. His question is, how does now the consciousness sees a different green leaf in the second one and the yellow leaf in the first one? How is the consciousness getting divided, discriminated? A very good question, very genuine question. So, I want you to, the question goes on to say, I want to understand how this individual consciousness is related to that of the other. That means the person who's seeing yellow is another consciousness, apparently, because he's seeing yellow leaf. If consciousness is one, it should not be seeing that way, and the other one is seeing the green leaf. Atman, whether is one Atman, one consciousness, one Brahman. How does that happen? And he's saying, I'm not being able to relate to connecting this individual consciousness and also one universal consciousness. If I am the Turiam, Turiam is the fourth, remember? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiam. Turiam, go back to our last sessions. 1, Jagrat, 2, Swapna, 3, Sushupti, deep sleep. And counting from 1, 2, 3, the fourth, Chaturtham. Gaudapada brought out the name called Turiam. That is his name. Actually, they otherwise talk it Chaturtham. Why is it Chaturtham? 1, 2, 3. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. 1, 2, 3. But actually, remembering our last discussion, it is through Maya that the 1, 2, 3 comes in, because the one Jagrat state cannot be realized as Jagrat unless the consciousness, awareness is there. So we did that meditation. We'll do it more on this Sunday once again. In the meditation, we realize that I'm Jagrat. My body is experiencing happiness, joy, and love, food, the world around, and people around. But it is experiencing only because of that awareness. That awareness, if it is not there, if I'm in coma or unconscious, I cannot feel the world outside. Same thing with the dream state. I'm consciously aware of the dream state. But dream state cannot be there if I am not aware. Same thing with the deep sleep state. Absence of experience is also an experience. Is another experience, isn't it? Absence of experience is also experience. Darkness, I'm experiencing darkness in the deep sleep. But that is also because of awareness. So, through Maya, I realize it is one awareness. Chaturtham is actually one. Advaitam. Because in deep sleep, in dream state, and Jagrat state, it is that one awareness alone is making me experiencing 3 different stages, but they are actually one. So the awareness is one. So his question is, that awareness is one, then how is one experiencing green leaf and how is experiencing one yellow leaf? A very good question. He said, I'm unable to, if I'm the Turium, then who is the doer? Who is that one who is finding it? And more insignificantly, who runs the universe? Who is the universal consciousness? Which is the individual consciousness. With that, all these questions is individual to cosmic. So the Advaita goes ahead and says that you are pure consciousness. That is you. Who am I? I am the pure consciousness, the purity. Aham Brahmasmi. Prajnana Brahman. The consciousness is I. And with that, also said that same pure consciousness is everywhere. Right? Then how is it yellow and the green, 2 different people with the same consciousness is experiencing? A good question. Understand this sense of difference is because the experiences of the green color and the yellow color, though the consciousness is actually one, but the I is separate, the brains are separate, and the minds are separate. Mr. A who's seeing the yellow and Mr. B who sees the green, they are different mind, different brain, different eye senses. So consciousness is powering the mind which is different, which is perceiving the green. There's nothing wrong in that. A good question, but understanding the different way of seeing that. So now understand what is an object. Look at it this way. Supposing I know I am not this glass. I know it. I'm driving a car. I'm driving the car. I know I am not the car. But I'm driving the car. So know it this way. I'm driving my mind, my body. And I is the supreme consciousness perceiving the world through that body's senses, which is not me. I say this is my hand. I say that I is my eye. This body is mine. And this, I relate myself to that body and the mind and say this is me. Now that is the mistake which we do, taking that body as me. So the first point, it is, now you understand, we cannot take it because the car is not me. I'm driving the car. Body is not me. It's like an app. Mind is like an app. Senses are like an app. I'm using it. And when I go up to deep sleep, it's like a computer shut down. Deep sleep, mind is not working. Senses are not working. So I don't see anything, perceive anything. But the consciousness is there, as per Gaudapada, Mandakya Upanishad, in a seed form. So when you wake up from the deep sleep, the world comes rushing back to you. The bank loan, the money balance in the bank, the relationship, the love, hatred, the happiness, the fight between the partner, husband, wife, all comes back to you. If it is good, 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 all good, good, good comes back to you. If it is bad, 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 all bad, bad, bad comes back to you. If you had sickness and fever, it comes back to you. If you have good health, it comes back to you. So that seed form of the consciousness comes back to you. Now, consciousness is one. His question is, how can I feel it? So, let me try and make you understand it. One is Pancha Kosha. I will cover it in brief. You think about it, you can ask questions. We will cover it in little more detail on the Sunday. We have 5 koshas, which is called our body. The physical body is Annamaya Kosha. What we eat is what we are. And then goes on to, that is the food layer. And then comes the Pranamaya Kosha, is how we breathe. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manamaya. What mind is. The intellectual layer is called the Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Beyond that is the blankness, Anandamaya Kosha. None of these I am. All these 5 sheets of layer of body is not me. I'm something else which is inside that body. Now, to understand it, remember in our meditation we went to awareness Jagrat. I'm experiencing the world, but because of my Brahman awareness consciousness, I'm experiencing the dream state of a dream body, dream name, dream form, the dream animals chasing me or happiness. It's through the awareness. Deep sleep, not experiencing, not experiencing blankness, experiencing the blankness, correctly to speaking, is also because of the awareness. But that awareness is me, is I am. Now to understand it, think. Huge sky, brilliant blue sky. And there are lots of small pots. Now think, each pot has got its own space. Each pot has got a space inside. Each pot has got a sky. From the pot, if you look outside, you will see a little sky. But the sky is huge. From the pot, if I am a frog or an insect, or I am sitting inside the pot like Aladdin, a magic lamp, I see only that sky and I see this space. Now understand 2 things. 1, though I see that little sky, because of my limitation, I think I am that pot. I perceive that consciousness, that sky, imagine as if that sky is the consciousness only limited by mind. My mind, body and the mind and the senses. Second, imagine in my pot I have little water. I remove that pot from this place to this place. Understand this, very important, powerful point. The water moves with the pot. There was water in the pot. There is also space in the pot. When you fill the water, understand this, does the space get replaced with water or space continue to stay? Is question one. Second question, when I move the pot with water, the water moves with the pot. Does the space move with the pot? Think about it. It does not. The space has gracefully allowed the water come in without space going away. Space remains. Water is not occupied space. Water is there in the space. It is like the water has not been replaced by a wave in the ocean. The water has become the ocean. Here, space has not become the water. Space continues to be there. Consciousness in you and me, when we are moving around, consciousness continues to be everywhere, but it's not moving with me. Same thing is space. Space is not moving. Look at Pune city. Few hundred years ago, there were very few buildings. 50 years ago, very few buildings. Today, that space of Pune city is occupied by thousands of buildings. What happened to the space? Most people will think that the space is occupied by the building. That is the ignorance. Space has not gone anywhere. Space is still there. Space has gracefully allowed the buildings to come up. If the building is demolished, space continues to stay. If the building increases its height, space continues to stay. It is an understanding. Same way with the consciousness. Consciousness is always there. You are using it. And when you remember those 5 stages, Jayate, Asti, our 5 body stages, we are born, we sustain, we bardhate, we grow, vipariknashate, we age, we decay, aparikshate, and then nashate, we die. But during these stages, consciousness continues to remain the same. It is neither fed by the mind. Consciousness is helping as the seer, as the drashta. Drishya is the mind and the body, apps. Like the car being driven by me. I'm driving that body. Body is changing away. Body dies. Body is there. Consciousness is not gone. What goes with the body are those sukshma shariras. Those Pancha Koshas, they go. Mano buddhi chitta ahankar goes like a bubble. And as per Vedanta takes birth in new form, new body. Clear? Consciousness remains. Now the answer to the question, and then we'll discuss more. What has happened? The consciousness is influencing the mind, what it picks up. Like in this room, there is light. The light is falling on the computer, on the camera, on me. Isn't it? But there is light right over there. That is lighting up something else. Light is one. Are you with me? Good example. Light is falling on the something very dirty on the road. Light is not affected. Same sunlight is falling on a holy water on the right hand side. River Ganga is going. It is not becoming holy. Unattached. Consciousness is same with drashta. Unattached. Undisturbed. And consciousness falling on a pitcher of whiskey or wine. It is not getting drunk either. Light is falling on the pitcher and the wine. It is not getting drunk either. Just like the light, the consciousness is not light. Consciousness is far, far more powerful than the light. Light is also an object because you experience it, isn't it? You experience absence of light. Anything that you experience has to have an object and consciousness. 2 things in an experience, object and consciousness. I experience light, I experience absence of light. The light is also an object. I experience my mind, also experience an object. Okay? So with that thing, it's a beautiful point. So the green light green leaf was seen by the mind, the eye, the consciousness, give the energy to the mind to perceive the green light. It is not mixing up with the yellow leaf which is being seen by another person. Another person consciousness is not separate. It is like that light. It is seeing with different pair of eye, different pair of mind, but the consciousness is one which is lighting up. Try and understand, light is here, light is there. Seeing two different objects by two different apps. Very good question. Think on it. Develop some questions and we shall discuss more. After that, we shall do some Vedantic meditation and going into deeper and deeper state. This meditation, I'm finding it is really powerful. Get on to more deeper and deeper. My prayers for all of you. Wish you Merry Christmas and very, very Happy New Year for all of you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the Divine Mother, gods and goddesses, Gurus, Mahavatar Babaji, the Gurus of the universe, our beloved Guru Devas, Paramahansa Yogananda Yukteswar Girilari Mahasaya, beloved Swami Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, hold our hand, bless us all, protect us and everybody around us and our family members and the devotees and the bhaktas, and fulfill all your wishes. Encourage you, bless you with the consciousness to continue to do your sadhana. Jai Guru.